Hey everyone, Logan here with Flex Machine Tools. I have Cyler with me as well, and today we're going to be reviewing some of the ergonomic solutions we have when relating to grinding, assembly, part manipulation, and we're also going to touch on some position control and error proofing solutions as well. But before we get started here, make sure that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and throw those in the chat. We're happy to answer those real time for you, but we look forward to what you have to say and seeing where you guys are watching from. But to get started here, we'll make this as brief as possible. We're going to go over some of our torque reaction solutions. We've got a few light duty torque reaction arms here for various different applications, but the arms that we do offer can react up to 800 foot-pounds of torque with upwards of 80 plus inches of reach. But I'll send it off to Cyler here and he will show some of these options we've got.
Yeah, thanks. So we'll start off by showing you a couple of our, like Logan said, some of our lighter duty torque reaction arms. So we have the FAV and CVA model arms here. These react torque up to 10 foot-pounds, and counterbalance, you can see here, it counterbalances the weight of the tool. So the goal here is to, as I said, counterbalance weight, torque react, and then also maintain perpendicularity. So if you have the vertical down fastening orientation, a nice V block like this with an inline tool, it keeps the tool in that orientation that you need to just make your operations quicker, faster, and more ergonomic. And same thing with the CVA model here, just a different construction. You can see here we have two sets of parallel arms compared to the one set here with the up and down, and then we have this straight angle on the back with two 360-degree pivots. So moving on to the AR and LR40 model arms, the 40 in there stands for 40 foot-pounds, so that's 40 foot-pounds max torque reaction, and the LR40 here comes on, has a linear slide that produces the in and out stroke, and then it can also move up and down. This cable balancer on the top here counterbalances the weight of the tool, so that can be set anywhere from 1 pound to 15 pounds on this model arm. And then the AR40 is an articulating arm, so it reaches out all the way here, has a tight inside working range as it folds up on itself. So you can see a couple different mounts we have on these two arms. Some standard accessories is a V block like we saw over here on these arms. It's just for an inline tool, nut runner, vertical down. Then we have a pistol grip mount shown on the LR40. That is used for side fastening. So if you see, we have a block set up here with some bolts that are going into the side of the part. We can line that up there, and it has a swivel so you can align to different points on the block. And then with the AR40, we have a right angle V-block clamp for using a right angle tool vertically down. So again, we'd line up vertical down and run those nuts down.
So Cyler has mentioned some of the standard mounts that we offer, but Cyler, can you talk about the capabilities that we have here to design a custom mount, maybe for a specific tool, just to ensure a perfect fit? Yeah,
no doubt. If with these arms here, most of our standard accessories kind of cover 90% of applications we'll see in the field. When we get up to our larger arms, where maybe we're reacting 400 foot-pounds of torque, 600, 800, whatever it may be, a lot of those tools come with a reaction flange. The tool manufacturer actually makes that reaction flange with a spline that lines up to their tool and can react that torque. That's when we'd kind of design a custom interface block there to attach the tool to our arm and connect to that splined reaction flange and provide a solution, again, depending on the orientation of the fastening, to provide that solution. And then we also get into counterbalancing up to 75 pounds. So maybe you have a big impact tool, or whatever it may be, a laser marking head or something of that nature. Then we'd provide a custom mount and a custom solution to allow your tool to move how it needs to, and then make the tool or the part feel weightless while it's being used by the operator.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks a lot, Cyler. Yeah, so basically, looking at these arms, it helps with precision on assembly applications, safety for torque reaction, and safety as far as counterbalancing maybe some heavier tools as well. And remember, these are our light duty. We have much bulkier solutions for those high torque, heavy tool applications. But we're going to move on here to our part manipulator that is for pick and place applications, 200 pounds and under. A lot of work injuries are just due to overexertion, and the part manipulator eliminates that. It allows maybe a two-man job to lift something safely, makes it go down to one, and it's still a really safe solution. So Cyler's going to go over how that arm works, the options that we can provide to make it a custom solution for you, or a standard option that'll work just great as well. So we'll get over here to Cyler and he will show you a quick demo.
Yeah, the part manipulator arms, kind of like Logan touched on, these assembly arms are for counterbalancing. So this tool weight is always on there. We set it for that weight, and that's how the arm will operate through its lifetime. If we need to pick up weight and set it down, that's when we move to the part manipulator arm. So that's kind of the difference there if you're unfamiliar with the two styles. So
here, I'll move this for you.
Thank you. So here we have a PM33S model arm. So for the arms, the up and down controls is used with this joystick. So you can kind of feather it to where it'd go down really slow or go a little faster. And same way on the way up, you can see it's slowly moving up, but if we go all the way back, it'll go faster. That's helpful when you want to move quickly, but you want to have a little bit of precision when you're getting close to your part or starting to set down the part on a surface, so you're not banging everything around. This arm has two 360-degree pivots on it, one right here and one back here. Oh, kind of blocked in the camera there, aren't I? So you can see the two pivot points. This arm has a max lifting capacity of 150 pounds. The most we can lift with one of our 2-foot arms is 200 pounds. So we have a wide range of reaches, vertical strokes, and lifting capacities with these model arms, and those all can be found on our website if to really narrow down the specific one that you may need for your application. Along with this, one of the standard options we offer with the arm is this lifting magnet. It is actuated just by a manual lever here that you switch over, and if you don't get the magnet for a steel part that's easy to pick up with this magnet, we also design custom end effectors for the applications that we'll look at here in a minute. But I'll do a quick demo of picking a steel plate off of our FlexCNC machine, so you kind of see how it operates. So we will rotate the arm over to the machine.
And as Cyler's doing this, guys, something to look at while he's doing this is how compact this unit is. This could replace a jib crane that maybe is more costly, but takes up more space. You need a beam to mount that on, and this is pretty compact. It folds up on itself and can easily be used in a tight workstation.
So you can see that's pretty much the just there, and how the arm operates. It moves really smoothly, as Logan mentioned. This is good for applications where there's low overhead clearance. So reaching into a machine, a small workplace where a jib crane may not fit. This folds back on itself, so we don't have to take up much floor space either. And that's kind of the applications that we look for, where we're reaching into somewhere, so you don't have to swing a chain in there and just have trouble. So eliminating reach while holding weight, that's a big ergonomic issue. Whether it's, we're seeing a lot of places now where 30, 40 pound max lifting weights by a single person. If you get to that weight, you either need to have a buddy system or have a mechanical or a lifting device that can help you lift that weight. So
right. Yeah, and even with a buddy system on something like this, it's easy to pinch your fingers when placing plate back down on on a stack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he showed the magnet, but over here we have an example of a custom end effector that we've created, and Cyler will show you how that works. It's a pretty self-explanatory solution, but for an application that specifically requires something like this, it's really beneficial.
Yep. So here we have, again, another part manipulator arm. This one is a longer version, the PM44S. So these arms are 4 feet long instead of 3 feet like the last one, and same with that base angle. The control of the up and down movement is the same here. We have a custom end effector, so it rotates about 270 degrees about the vertical axis, and that just helps align this gripper to the part, however it may be seated on the surface we're picking up from. So we are rotating this part up from this orientation and down flat, or vice versa, by using a cylinder. So we're not about the center of gravity of the part where you could easily do that by hand. We're actually lifting that up with a powered cylinder. So we'll rotate it down here. And then the gripper is then actuated by a joystick here, just like that cylinder was on the side. So this is the open and close. This is the powered rotation. And we've done a lot of different circuits with the gripper, with open and close, to ensure whatever safety standard you need, whether it be a two-hand operation, an anti-drop function, so the part has to be set down on a solid surface before being released. And then with all our arms, if air pressure is ever lost, your supply drops or your supply becomes unhooked, the arm up and down position will maintain its position, and the gripper will also remain closed. So that's another safety feature of the arm. We'll show that powered rotation here one more time.
Awesome, and guys too, and so with these, it's really, imagine any part manipulation, material handling application that's cumbersome. We can almost certainly provide a solution in most cases, as long as it is within the weight requirements. And we can provide a custom solution at that. I mean, we've recently worked on a few where it's something as simple as loading tooling into a machine. That's not something that's necessarily really cumbersome, but it's a pain point, and people want to find a solution for that.
Yeah.
So,
and with the custom manufacturers, we have we've done grippers, magnets, vacuum systems, whatever the job requires. We can we have the ability to design and provide that solution for your part. Again, as Logan said, as long as we're within the weight range, that 200 pounds is our max lifting capacity, and that includes the weight of the part plus the weight of any custom components that we put on the end of the arm.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, while you're over there, Kyler, why don't you show us the B19 RG? We have a grinder mounted on there with our rotational gimbal. And this arm is a counterbalance arm, but it gives you a full range of motion for those grinding applications with 6 pivot points. So it's easily moved within the work cell, and it allows for somebody to use a much heavier grinder with a lot more grinding surface area than maybe would have been able to be used before. With a smaller grinder, it gets cumbersome during the day. If you've been using it a long time, your grip will maybe loosen up, and if you drop the grinder, that causes injury or damages the tool. And this can solve this problem. So why don't you go ahead and show us this as an example, Kyler?
Yeah. So this is strictly a counterbalancing arm. So right now, I hook the air up, and we have a regulator, an air regulator on here that we can fine tune to counterbalance the weight of the tool. We use it's a pneumatic counterbalance, so this cylinder in here is what provides that counterbalance force. So right now I have it set at 0 psi. So if I lift this out here, I can't lift that up. That's the grinder plus the weight of the arm. I can't lift it up. Once we start adding a little air pressure to it, I can lift it up a little bit, but it's still heavy. And then we get it dialed in there to where the arm counterbalances the weight of the tool and makes it, a 0 gravity feel. As Logan said, the 6 pivot points on here allow freedom of motion, where we can, tilt the grinder, rotate it about its center axis nice and easily, so you can get all the corners, the edges of your part, and make it an easy to do task where you're not straining your shoulders, your back, your neck by maybe extending the grinder or holding it all day long and causing those injuries and fatigue. So you can have a better quality finish as well when you're not as tired and thinking about the pain in your neck or your arms or whatever it may be. So it's a really neat application. People love it when they start using it. There's people who've been doing it the same way for years and years and years, and it's really a game changer when they get one of these in there and can make their job a lot easier.
Yeah, in this arm specifically, it holds what, 25 pounds?
Yeah, the max weight on this is 25 pounds with a max reach, if you extend it all the way out, of about 54 inches. And we have in the past, we've extended this arm to make a bigger version if the customer has a larger part. So the up and down stroke of this is not, it's around 25 inches or so. But if we extend these arms, we can get a bigger stroke here, a longer stroke for taller parts if needed.
Perfect, awesome. Well, yeah, that's a quick look at our B19RG with the gimbal, and we're going to move on over to some of the position control air proofing solutions that we can offer. Kyler will be giving you a really awesome demo here of a mock workstation that we have going on. It's, like I said, really great for air proofing, and a really awesome feature with this is it can show you basically pictures step by step on how to assemble this to make sure that there's no errors within the system. You can upload a job via barcode, and if you have a newer person on the assembly line or in this station, you can ensure that it's done correctly and properly, and you can even track who was doing it at that station at what time. But it allows a newer person to just look at the pictures. It's very simple. It decreases the training time needed and improves the quality control. So I'll have Kyler show that quick example as well.
Yep. Absolutely. So. Stick here. we have a bolt in there from the last time, so we'll take that out and get started. So I'll turn the unit on. So we're gonna have some pictures here to guide us step by step on what we're doing on this screen, the DPC Touch. This is where we program the job and kind of set all the parameters of where the fastening points are with the tool. Like right now, the tool will not run because that's not the step we're in on the program, and we're not in the spot that we're supposed to be. So go ahead and start. We're gonna do so we're gonna lock the workpiece in here by pressing 2 buttons simultaneously. So we'll press this in, hit next. May have been able to hear that pin lock that part in there. Now the green LED light here tells us which tray to pick out of for the correct bolt. So pick this tray, have our fastening location. Again, I can't fasten out here on the part. We're supposed to be right in the center of the part. So I will put it over there. And you see we move on to the next bolt, which is in the opposite tray, where I pick from here. Go to this location and fasten that down, pick another one. So if order of fastening is important, you can choose that in the setting. So I can't, we're on bolt number 3, which is down here. I can't go to this side and tighten this one until this one is hit. So we'll go down there, hit that, pick another one. Again, just to show you, if I was to try and go out of order and put one over here, it's not going to let me do that. So,
and guys, you'll see lights and buttons and all of these different components on here. There is 12 inputs and 12 outputs too. So if you want to incorporate an alarm or additional lights to tell you, like you see there, tray 1 and tray 2, that can light up and tell you which one to grab at which time. Basically anything that you would want to add for air proofing, it can be added, within those 12 input outputs as well.
Yep. Exactly. And so we got job completed, successful. So this would go down the line, and we'd start on our next one. The way the position control arms track the position of the arm is with encoders. So we have an encoder on each of these 2 rotations that allow you to get the XY, basically the XY position on your part compared to where the arm is mounted. So these are easy to program. It's just basically, you put the tool where you want it, program your point, say, your inputs and outputs, what you want to do with them, you can name them, and then it's just an easy, simple way to program and make the job error-proof.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's just a brief overview on some of our ergonomic solutions as far as part manipulation, material handling, assembly. As you can see, some air-proofing, position controls, and we've got a lot more options available on our website, like Kyler mentioned earlier, at flexmachinetools.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page so you can get some upcoming videos, see the ones we've done in the past. We have more information on other product lines as well. But in the future, we're planning on dividing these up and going a little more in detail, in depth on each of these product lines, so you can get as much information on specific things. Maybe you're more interested in the material handling aspect or the error proofing. We'll dive into those a little more deeply here, in the next few weeks. So subscribe and stay tuned. If you have any questions that we weren't able to get to on any of these, let us know, reach out to us. Like I said, visit our website. If you'd like to call us, obviously, number there at the bottom of the screen, 800-837-2503. Kyler and I thank you. Have a great rest of your week.
Have a good one. Thanks.